Sounding good, looking good, feeling good. Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And I don't know why that could have been one of the first times I ever switched up the intro, but that's just what I felt like saying because that's what I felt. I know it might sound like it has different meanings to it, but really what I'm meaning is I'm sounding good based on how it looks. My mic, I'm like trying to check the settings before we go and see how things are looking and all that stuff. And so, yeah, that's basically, I was just checking, all the levels or whatever. That was pretty much what I was doing. And yeah. And so I just came up with that phrase right now. It was everything is looking good, it's sounding good, it's feeling good because obviously the counter effects of all those effects would be that effect that everything's good and that I'm feeling good. So that's why I said that in that order because it's a domino effect of effects and feelings. So kind of cool. Kind of cool. No, I'm not really sure what to talk about today. I didn't really have the dreams that I did have were not too interesting that I remember. So the first dream I had was a fairly simple dream from what I remember. It was a pretty nice dream where me and some old friends were just all getting our cars serviced at the same time in this area too, which doesn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. They were all there, people I haven't talked to in a very long time, and I don't really think anything too eventful happened. I mean, the dream was somewhat long, but I think it was mostly just random things pertaining to the cars and getting the cars from the because all three of our cars were there, which I don't know why anybody would even do that. Like if anything, wouldn't you want one friend or like one or two of the friends to have their car so the other one can carpool? Like for some reason we had all three of our cars scheduled at once. And then I think we were trying to find if anybody could get us to bring us there and we were walking or something. I'm sorry, I forget a lot of the details, but it was the first dream of the night. So it's difficult to like it's difficult to really remember when you have I mean, I probably had two or three other dreams after that, and then I'd forgotten about all of them, although one of them did come back to me. It was this dream where I there was some kind of food delivery to my house and there was a party going on at the time. There were other people over, and all of a sudden these two guinea pigs were left there and they seemed scared. And even though at first I thought they could have been my own, but then when I went closer to them, they were slightly different. And I held my arms out and the one just jumped right into my arms, even though it was still really scared. It must have been even more scared of not being with a human. You know what I actually remember, and I think this is particularly weird because now that I'm remembering it, is I had a dream, and bear in mind I have not seen this show, I don't even think I finished the first season. So I don't really understand why I would have had this dream, but yeah, now the one of the other dreams is coming back to me. The guinea pig one, I don't really think that was too eventful. The only detail I remember is that when I would try to touch one of the guinea pigs, he kept bowing his head down and sort of like trying to get at me with this hard part that was near his eye. And so I had looked it up, and there's apparently these horns, these like small horns beneath the surface of the guinea pig's skull that excrete a very small amount of like a numbing venom. And so, fortunately, it was the back of my finger that he was getting because I purposely was angling it like that. But, apparently it wasn't like a huge poison, and it just kind of left my finger feeling tingly. That was the thing. I don't know. That was just some random top. Now, obviously, that isn't actually true, but it's it's something. Um, the next stream, and again, what's really weird about this is I've never seen. Well, I've only seen some of the first season. I'm pretty sure. I don't even think I ever finished the first season, and this was a while ago too. So I'm not sure why I would have a random dream about this, but it was like supposedly there was something going on where I was getting TV show episodes, and for some reason it was the fifth season of Stranger Things. And when I was watching it, it was more like I was within. Wait a minute. Ooh. I'm trying hard to remember, but I do remember some other memories now. But I'm not. It's like at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember the rest of the memories for this dream. So I guess there's going to be just this partial memory unless I remember the rest. And for some reason, maybe I got transported into it. I want to say there was some kind of. See, it must have been a weird dream because we were switching between real life and then within this hypothetical fifth season of Stranger Things, but it was not the fit. Like, I mean, I don't even know. I thought that's what just came out or something. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't really know what season they're on, but if that is the one that just came out, then this, in the context of this dream, it doesn't make any sense because in this dream, it was not new. Like the fifth season was not the latest season. I wonder if too the titling or the description of what the movie was could have been some kind of a deeper meaning about the dream, that it was just like a strange dream or something. Because again, it really wasn't like the show at all. I don't even know how else to explain that or anything. But yeah, I don't think it was like the show at all. Trying to think of what else to. The only thing I really remember is we were in this gift shop that was really old designed. It was almost like we went to one of those historical places, but this was like in the show, which also doesn't make any sense because the show does not, I mean, as far as I know, doesn't really take place in what would be some kind of an old field trip or something. The show doesn't, from what I remember, I don't know why that would ever be a setting within the show, but there was a bunch of other different fictional characters from like a hodgepodge of different characters from different series. I can't really pinpoint exactly who or what or why, but it was just very strange. And then I was just this regular human. So I didn't really think that was very fair. But I think towards the end of the dream, I also had transformed into an odd alternate character from a different franchise. Like it was everybody, all the characters that were supposed to be. Because as I was witnessing all this, I guess I was looking for, I was searching for and looking for where the characters were because I hadn't had seen the show, which because then now it doesn't really make sense because there was some logic that was coming through, obviously, because I was trying to think I have seen this show before, so let me try to figure out the characters I recognize. But again, that why if that was true, like if my understanding of the show was how it is in reality, why would I have just been jumping to the fifth season? I mean, it could have been a situation where just the store happened to only have the fifth season. And so when I obtained or was downloading the series, I just, for some reason, I was excited to see it. But I don't really know why because I'm not that into the show. I never was all that into the show. And again, I do want to preface, I don't think the fifth season is canonically adding up with the reality because I want to say in my dream there was a sixth season as well. Because I know it wasn't the last. I know for sure it was not the last season in my dream. So yeah, I guess just trying to think of what I can really make of all this. I don't know. I'm trying, but yeah, a lot of the memories are shaky, and I think the fourth dream is on the tip of my tongue. I'm kind of wondering if what I'm thinking of the third and fourth dream were actually merged into the same dream. It's just that they were, since I was going from the real world to the not real world, I'm not really sure. Because again, the other dream that I was having, like right around this one, it was in the real world, but I just don't know what it was about. I want to say it was a person's birthday party. Yeah, I just I can't really figure out what it would have been. I don't know. But I do think there were four distinct concepts at least enough to warrant me saying I had four different dreams. And I mean I can't possibly remember them all. When I try to, it just doesn't. Well, when I try to record and talk about it in the middle of the night, when I did that on Friday, it kind of overstimulates me and it makes me more awake, and then it's harder to fall back asleep. I guess I'd be curious to try it out today. No, not today. Maybe this weekend again, just because during the weekend the stakes aren't as high in terms of when I need to wake up. So maybe I'll experiment with it for Friday night. Who knows? I don't. Yeah, I don't really think there's too much else to talk about there. But yeah, I'm not sure. Not really too sure what I'm getting at here. Yeah, I didn't know that it was just going to be 15 minutes of me giving a pretty terrible description of these dreams that I had. And yeah, none of them are particularly interesting. I guess overall they were mostly just fun or dreams that at least felt neutral. They weren't nothing bad, nothing all that cool, nothing all that breathtaking. And here we are 16 minutes in. I guess it's just what's been on my mind. For whatever reason, it's just what has been on my mind. So, guess I just wanted to do something about it. I'm not sure. I think I've said this before, but yeah, I mean, in life in general, I'm questioning a little bit myself and what I want to do. I'm not sure. I guess in regards to work, it's kind of draining, and it wouldn't be if I just worked it. Well, maybe it still would be, but I think if I worked a regular amount of hours, I don't think it would be too big of a deal. So I wonder. Uh, at the same time, I can't really be complaining too much about my point in life right now. I do think it's better than last week. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's hard to say. No, sorry. Did I say last week? I meant to say last year. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say last year. Compared to last year, I think I'm in a better place now. And I mean, that's obviously important. I think it's perspective that is important to keep in mind. Although, I almost want to say that March to me, in a way, it feels more like the new year. You know, with spring, I don't really know that January even feels like the new year. And at least in my case, I think with certain things that have gone on in my life, it's kind of like that just because of what happened. I mean, this past year, for example, this past year has been it's definitely been different. I want to say 2024 it was more stable, it was more calm. There wasn't really as much craziness. I mean, my life was rough. Maybe I was probably more miserable in 2024. So I would probably describe 2024 as more like numb, miserable, and confused. And then 2025 was more like stressed and confused. but less confused. I do think I can say that I was less confused in 2025 than I was in 2024, and I was less miserable, but I was probably more stressed. 2025 was really, if I could think of any year, any one word to describe the year, it would probably be stress. And then 2024, it would have just been, I want to say miserable, but as one word, that's kind of difficult. Because at the same time, it was simple. I think things were simpler in 2024 for me. I think 2025, it felt like hands were reaching inside my brain and grabbing it and kind of like squishing it, tearing it, opening it, wide stretching it. You know, that's kind of what 2025 felt like. It was a lot of neurological development and connecting the dots. I mean, we obviously started Car Rides with Schla, which has gone on to be this almost year-long project at this point, which I really had no idea at the time if I would even continue to do it. But the reason why I continue to do it, as I've said before, it's really just boredom. There's no way I would rather just not do this and listen to music, for example. I just would never do it. So when it comes to the show and the car ride, yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm here, I'm present, I'm good. Like I'm here, you know? And so because there's no alternative. There's no reason for me to do anything else. And I think it's just how my brain's designed. And now those days that I woke up late and we have missed morning episodes, which I don't think it was too often, but I think it was definitely often enough to warrant something. When I would do that and I'd be listening to music and eating food in the car, I would usually be done my food not super long even into the episode. So it's not like that would really be a thing I was doing for the whole time. When I was done my food and it was just silent and I was in here in silence, I didn't like that the mic wasn't running because I was still occasionally thinking of things to say, and I may have been saying them briefly, but you know, nothing was recording, so it's totally different. Nothing's getting tracked or acknowledged or, you know, permified. What do we think about that word, permified? I don't know that that's a word. I just made it up, but yeah, like, and it was weird because even in that condition, even when I'm quiet, even when I'm not talking all that much, it's the microphone that really gets me. I still want to have that thing running for some reason. I'm not sure what this person in front of me is doing, but he's only going like 39 or 40, and I feel like he's had his brake lights on this whole time. So it's kind of weird. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. Yeah, it just looks really weird. I don't know if something's wrong with his car. Because I've never, I mean, I guess now he's going more like 45, but still. It's very odd. Yeah, like it just looks like his brake lights have been chronically on this whole time. And he's just driving very slow. I want to say it's an old Chevy Suburban type of car or Chevy Tahoe, but it's very difficult to make out. But that's like my rough guess. An older one, not new at all. And yeah, so what was I actually talking about? Because I kind of liked it, and now I forgot it. Oh yeah, and then even when I was in silence, I still didn't like. And that's the thing where I know it's not good for the show or the episode, but even when I have the moments of silence where I just have to think or I just feel like thinking, I'm still happy that the microphone's running. For some reason, it's just gotten to the point where me being in the car but not having the mic running, that's just odd to me. Like it's not something I want. It's boring. So I think boredom has kept me into it. It is a nice activity for me to have a microphone running in the car. I actually think in general in my life, I would have a microphone running more often. It's just that a lot of times it's very cumbersome and the quality's not going to be good. You need quite a bit of equipment to get a good quality. I mean, just to get this quality, it's not a light suite of things that I have to haul around. So it's very fine and convenient and easy in a car, but in general, it's not like I could just have this on me all the time. That would be kind of crazy, but I think I would like that. I think if it were possible, I don't know how long it would take for them to have microphone technology improve that much to where I could be getting such a good quality out of, a microphone system that's more portable. Because it's just been a disaster. Even that walk switch law mic, I really was not impressed with. I'm not even overly impressed with this one, but at the same time, I think it's doing a very good job. Like I can't really complain about it, but it still didn't meet my expectations, but it is probably my favorite mic. The one at home I like a lot, but its background noise rejection I think could be a little bit better. But in terms of the mic itself, I've always liked that mic. But the one I'm using now, this one is really more of just a good mic. It just seems like a good microphone. So, yeah, and like I said, I don't know, maybe I'll make that video at some point reviewing it, and we'll see about that. But as of now, we're gatekeeping it. That's what I'm saying. We're gatekeeping it. So don't think you can get your hands on, because you're not going to get your hands on. I'm gatekeeping it. But it has been good, and it obviously, I think it gives like a really good sound for my recordings. That coupled with the interface, it's just an extremely good setup, and I would love to have this on me, all the time, but there are issues. The fur ball that it needs is not really great. It's kind of annoying. And so there isn't really a mic that is yet designed for my needs and purposes. That's kind of the issue. We're not really there yet. Yeah, because they would have to create a microphone that is just doing a lot of stuff, a lot of fancy stuff that I don't. Yeah, I don't know if it's even possible. I'm not sure, but it would be nice if it were possible one day. you know? And then I could just, like, I could always have everything recorded. I mean, yeah, I probably could. I can do it now, you know? I mean, the 16 Pro has a pretty solid mic in it, and I do have the 16 Pro Max. It's just, I really kind of wanted the regular 16 Pro because of it's a little bit smaller, so in the hand it would kind of feel better or do better. Um in the hand it would kind of feel better or do better. So that was kind of something. I mean, I still kind of want it, but not, I guess not in huge part. And then I was also thinking at that point, maybe the just regular 17 Pro would make more sense because I believe it has the same higher quality microphone system. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I really want to do. But even that, I guess I'm not super impressed with. It's just the microphone and really trying to jam out quality of it. It's not something that's super appealing to the average consumer, I guess. So they usually just does not get a lot of attention, and microphones in general, they just don't really get that much attention, especially in the form of advanced tech to try to really juice out background noise and all these other things that probably could be possible. It's just that people don't really care all that much, and it's probably pretty difficult and or expensive to manufacture. So the perfect mic doesn't really exist, and we're very behind with a lot of the microphone stuff. So we are very behind. It's a shame, but I mean, maybe it's also possible that there's not too much we can do, but I guess I just don't believe in that. I wonder if you could have a mixture of a internal mic implant that could kind of try to gauge some of the problem. I know that we already talked about it where a lot of the frequencies internally are probably not the same sounding as once they leave the mouth, but maybe if you had an internal microphone and an external microphone and it kind of aggregated both signals, you could get something that's a little bit better because you could piece together the frequencies you're getting from the internal mic, which are probably mostly lower or middle frequencies. If I'm just guessing, I have a feeling most of the articulation and higher frequencies are going to be coming from the mouth and how the mouth and the tongue articulate things. I think most of the rumble would come from internal or even a lot of the mid-tones. So I guess what you could do is you could have an aggregated mic where internally it is, I'm trying to think, internally it's picking up those middle and low frequencies so that the external mic doesn't even need to do that, and the external mic is only picking up the articulations, the thing. So it would probably be the external mic would be really only picking up higher frequency sounds, which would cut down on background noise a lot because the only background noise that there would be background noise that is in the higher frequency bands. It wouldn't even have much of the lower or mid. It wouldn't really be picking up too much from the outer mic. But of course, this gets costly and complicated. I'm not really sure how you would charge the internal mic. So, and again, this aggregation idea is doing a lot of work. So the battery life, well, most of the work would probably be done on the external module, but in general, it's still kind of complicated theory, but curious as to what AI would have to say about it, because I know it's kind of a crazy idea, and I'm not really anticipating that this idea would really work, but I am thinking that it could have some legitimacy to it, because there's got to be some frequencies that are in our voice before they exit the voice, like right after they exit the voice box. Then once they enter the mouth, like you'd probably have multiple internal mics. You'd probably have one kind of right where your voice box is, and then you'd have one inside of your mouth. And so those two would work together to capture whatever frequencies they could, which would inevitably be a cleaner signal than, if you waited until they were outside of your body, because when you're outside of the body, but obviously certain things like your lips do make a lot of the crisp enunciations, and you still need that. But at least at that point, the microphone, most of the mids and most of the lows are already taken care of. So they're not, there's nothing that we don't even have to factor those into the thing, if that makes any sense. All right, this is okay. No. Come on, man. I hate when this does this. There we go. There we go. See how we doing. All right. Yeah, I don't know why I started thinking about that, but I wonder how realistic it would be. It's probably not worth it, and I don't know how possible it is or the amount of computation that's necessary for it to work. So it's a complex query, but it's interesting in theory. That's what I think is interesting about it. It's a complex query, but it's interesting in theory. So I think on that note, I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. On that note, maybe it's time to get our things together and get ready to brace another day. So that is all we really do, anyways. So, yeah. I should probably listen to these recordings because I should be leaving early today. And if I am, if I am leaving early today, I will have time when I get home to adjust or tweak some settings. So I think that I should do that. I should probably just check in. I think if anything, I want to make the noise gate slightly weaker, just a touch. That's probably a main thing because I just prefer the naturalness of it. And I think that's about it. I mean, I may just fool around with a little bit different of a EQ tweak. But as far as I'm concerned, I think we're good. I think we're really dealing with a sound here that I was pretty confident with, but maybe tone down the compression a smidge. Maybe just a smidge. I don't know. I kind of wanted to sauce it at first, but now sort of having a little more reservation about that. So, yeah, I mean, those are just my ideas. But, anyways, it's been Schla, and now it's time to buy Schla. So, see you, Schla.